We should preface this conversation with the fact that this is a summer blockbuster movie.
Yes.
And so certain story points are going to be determined by, what is going to make the most exciting movie, what is going to help us tell this story, and, not purely for, a ethical study in
Right.
science classrooms. But we do have this story, so we can talk about what's there. Will is a scientist who is searching for the cure to Alzheimer's.
Right.
Now, you might say one of the lessons of this movie is, well, humans shouldn't play God. It's a Frankenstein story, and if you get too ambitious with playing with genetics and that kind of thing, then you'll suffer the consequences. I don't really believe searching for cures to diseases like Alzheimer's is a bad thing. I am in full support of that. One of the things that maybe this movie does raise awareness about is animal testing and I guess. I mean, what would they do? They'd add to the workforce, I guess. I don't know why we would do that. I guess maybe they could contribute to running the planet with us, I suppose. I mean, it's always scary when it's something new, or we are pushed beyond what is familiar. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be a scary thing, but it's really, where we're headed. The internet, the flow of information is changing us, and it's not going to stop. I don't think. So we need to learn ways of embracing that and using that in like you say, ethical ways, in ways that I guess won't create kind of more class divisions or divisions between, peoples. I don't know how that will be done, but those are always the questions that should be asked when any new technology or development, scientific development is developed.
Is that the apes represent ourselves. They are a mirror to ourselves, as both as a species and in our case, both in terms of a storytelling device and we're holding up a mirror to humanity. Right. Certain choices that we make that are actually carried out by these apes represent who we are as much as how much they represent them. So that the idea that he is genetically enhanced and afforded a cognitive ability to evolve in such a way that would be way beyond that of a traditional chimp. Mm-hmm. He's going to start asking certain questions of himself, and he's going to start to feel like he's neither one thing nor the other. So that to me was fascinating, and then that's where the revolution comes from. Yes. Charles's case, the great thing for me was always about how he as a human is heading in one direction, which is when he starts to regress with the disease of Alzheimer's and starts to lose his memory and lose his mind, tragically, you have this chimpanzee heading in the opposite direction. And the fact that they share this experience under the same roof is a really both a tragic and also incredibly intriguing premise, I think.
This film is really all about empathy. It's about being able to see the world from different points of view. It's about being Caesar as an ape, being able to see the world, see the humans for what they are, and also Will Rodman, James Franco's character, being able to be more humanized by seeing how the apes develop, and particularly the relationship with his surrogate son, in effect, Caesar. Right. So Caesar grows up being nurtured and brought into the world by human beings, and so he doesn't realize he's inherited this super intelligence drug. He just believes he's being brought up by people who love him. Has to then choose whether he's to reject the humanity that he's been brought up with, or in order to move forward with his own kind, or whether to take that on. And I think that's really one of the most significant and challenging parts of playing the role. Actually, was knowing how to do that. Was knowing, it wasn't. We're not saying in this movie humans are bad, apes are good. We're saying, if a species is going to take over, what are the positives they'll bring to running the planet? Yeah. It's about seeking freedom.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about I think it's a drug which is going to enable them to cope with the environment that they would be released into.
Gotcha.
And so it's you know, he's with that power comes responsibility, you
Right.
know, to use a cliched term, but it is something that very, very much bears down on him, the weight of what he's doing. It's not something he does lightly. But he's breaking the bonds of oppression, and this is a tool to enable that to happen.
Gotcha. So for Caesar, enhancement and that intelligence boost is a tool of liberation that allows him to achieve freedom.
I think it's important that the rampage through, you know, across the bridge is not an attack. It is a way that bridge stands between them and a haven. And they have to run the gauntlet, basically. And so, I mean, there's a moment, for instance, a key moment where one of the police force actually gets dismounted, and a guerrilla and Buck, the guerrilla who he has befriended, is about to launch into him and to kill him. And Caesar stops him from doing that because it's not about, you know, he isn't about trying to destroy humanity because the humanity that he grew up with was a very positive thing.
Exactly. Well, very cool. Thank you so